Kickers, man, kickers. You just can't live with them. Hey, camera. Kickers, man. Sometimes you can't live with them, but you can't live without them. And today we have a really special case. Shout out to my cat for joining us today. We have a special case. We have probably a gem of the community. One of the most unhinged kickers I've ever seen. And before I get any further into this, one thing, subscribe. But the next thing, I don't want this isn't going to be a bullying piece, okay? I've actually talked to this guy before. I reached out to him a while ago because of his actions he was taking on Twitter. Told him, hey man, you should probably chill out, and we're going to go through some of them. But I was like, you should probably calm down. Like, he's in the transfer portal, does not look good for recruiting. You know, people want kickers that are low maintenance, low ego, a lot of things. You know, they just kind of want you to be in your own place. I know a lot of like kicking coaches will say, hey, use Twitter for recruiting. Once you're in a school, delete it until you're done, you know, or just leave it, let it sit. You don't need to be, you know, heavily interacting on there. But I've gotten so many just DMs about what this guy does and the stuff that he's doing and the way he's acting. You'll just, you know what, you'll see. So let's start off with the first thing that got this guy on my radar, you know, and it was not in a good way. So I don't really keep up with like the kicking world. I keep up more with like punters specifically, you know, and there's a reason for it. But the first thing he does that people has started telling me on is he is a repeat abuser of the stopwatch. He like right here said he had 54-yard punt over 4 seconds of hang. Now obviously just the eye test would tell you it's not the case, okay? Simply not getting over 4 seconds of hang, you know, and he does that a lot. He's actually gone through and cleaned up his profile quite a bit, which is good. That's great, because that's one of the things I told him to do. It's just not a good look. There was one point I think he was claiming to have like a 4.6, and it was 3.9, which for punters, if you guys don't understand, we work really hard on our hang time. We work really hard. There was a point where I was just like a 4.2 to 4.6 guy, right? Could not get big hang times, and I grinded. I changed everything about my form, you know, changed my drop just to get those little extra tenths of a second to what you guys see me post every now and then on my Twitter. You know, 5.0s, 5.2s, even as high as a 5.51s, right? I'm a pretty lenient guy when it comes to hang times, right? If you post that you got like a, you know, 4.1 and I time it and it's like a 4.0, like 3, I'll be like, you know, you round it up. Maybe you timed like a 4.07 or 4.04 and then rounded it up to 4.1 just for simplicity's sake. You know, I'm not gonna press you on that. I don't really care. But when you're adding like 0.5 seconds in some cases, 0.7, 0.6, it's like, dude, come on, man. And then when I talked to him about it, he said that he was just counting in his head. And I was like, there's a free Google stopwatch. If you just Google the word stopwatch, fun fact, it pops up with a stopwatch right there. Okay, so easy way to get into, you know, being able to get some more accurate times. And then the other part is, you know, how he reacts when people say stuff about it. He doesn't necessarily take it too well, because I was not the first person to notice. I kind of bite my tongue on this stuff a lot of times when, you know, perhaps I shouldn't, but, you know, when people rightfully have called him out in the past, you know, he has not reacted so well. And one of the situations was he was doing a bit of a drill, right? And we all of us punters and kickers, we try to do weird drills, right? Put ourselves in game-like situations. Some of them look a little bit sillier than others, you know? Like, I used to do this one thing where I would spin around 3 times and then try to punt the ball to sort of simulate that sort of like in-game feeling of like no control and like dizziness and stuff like that. Was it effective? Who knows? Do other guys do it? No, you know, it was just something I wanted to try out. It's hard to tell what actually pushed, you know, me over the edge to the All-American status. Did that draw help? Marginally, probably, right? So he posted one of bear crawling to a field goal and then kicking said field goal. You know, notably, it's a goofy looking drill. There's no problem with it, right? But just the way that this guy talks and stuff on Twitter, and, you know, he's like a real Andrew Tate fan, big David Goggins fan, big talks like with that type of like mojo and attitude, and tries to bring that to the table. So people have kind of in this community are wondering, is he satirical, right? Is he kind of like poking fun at the younger guys, because he's a college guy, right? So is he poking fun at the younger guys who have just kind of gotten into the game and are doing these kind of things and talking like this, or is he actually like this? And I think the bear crawling drill pushed people over the edge in thinking that that was in fact, that he's a satirical, and he didn't take too well to that. So one of my buddies had said something about it, right? People people have sort of calling him out on it, and his responses were just not good. You know what I'm saying? So I won't go through all of them, but there was one guy who had said something, and he went and made a whole like TikTok cut up about him, which is, for a lack of better words, just unhinged, And naturally, in the TikTok edit he of course embellishes his own hang time once again, and posts the distance for the kicker that he's kind of trying to clown on without being able to see it. He has no idea what the distance is. So it's just like, that's the kind of behavior we're talking about there. It's just very interesting. On top of that too, he also has like called out kicking coaches in just a very brutal and unhinged way, calling out some of the bigger names in the community without any sort of basis to back it up. It's not like he's making these claims with any sort of proof. It's just very weird and unhinged behavior, like overemphasizing, like, making a kick and then being like, trying to like hype it up and stuff like that afterwards. And I get it. I posted a video of me the other day. I hit a punt out of bounds at the 1 yard line and was kind of talking some junk afterwards. I get being a little bit excited, It's just the context, doing it to a camera, like for training sessions. I'm washed. I'm an old washed up guy. So we do stuff like this, we should just prove that we still got it. It's the reaction of people. If somebody had called me out for that being a little cringe, if somebody was like, hey Isaac, that's a little bit cringe that you're kind of hyping up a punt going out of bounds at the 1 yard line at practice with nothing on the line. Yeah, that's a little bit cringe. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just me and a couple buds dicking around. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's not cringe. But that's why I don't post stuff like that every single day. On top of it too, he just constantly is mass tagging coaches, and I'm looking through here, and I mean, it's just not a good look, you know what I'm saying? So he's mass tagging coaches from like a variety of different schools. He's calling out other players, posting his high school clips still being a couple years out, which to me, it just kind of means you didn't really get the clips at college that you wanted. He's posted a couple college clips. Obviously, he was a little bit loosey-goosey on his hang times from his college punts too, as you could imagine. And then just stuff like this, like making an edit of yourself getting drafted. Yeah, that's an interesting one. You know what I'm saying? And he's also made edits of himself, TikTok boxing, and doing training and stuff like that. And perhaps you can understand why people think it's satirical. So ultimately, dude, if you're watching this, actually, let me give you some props though. Here, we'll do this. I like the work ethic. I really do. I like guys that get out there and just grind every single day. The irony of you posting quotes from Messi talking about work in silence, meanwhile being a not very silent worker, is not lost on me. But I like getting out there to, go kick and work every day. That's a principle I myself live by. Got a lot of respect for that. I don't even hate the trying new drills thing, right? Like the bear crawling and the pushing a sled and then kicking. I really don't hate that. Put yourself in, in adverse conditions and stuff like that. It's not a terrible thing. I don't think post videos of it, I mean, if you got the special sauce, why would you give it out to everybody for, free game? I don't hate that. It's just I guess, just be more mindful, man. Just like, if you want to believe in the work in silence thing, just grind, post the clips, stop lying about your dang hang times, get that figured out, go use Google stopwatch. You're in a good spot. You're hitting the ball clean. You need more rolling film, I'll give you that much. I don't know how many footballs you have. You might only have one which would cause a lack of rolling film, and I get that struggle too as well. But it's just one of those things, man. You seem like an athletic kid, but just the way that you're going about things might be a little bit wrong, to say the least. So keep working, and if you guys are watching this, once again, and you figure out who this guy is, don't spread hate. Spread some positivity, push him in the right direction, and then let's hopefully get him to a college. All right. But the last question is, how are you doing? You having a good day? I'm a little under the weather. I got this weird thing in my neck where it kind of hurts. I can't really turn my head too much. But yeah, hope you're having a good one, and peace.